Hey guys, welcome back. Weather's getting cooler here, and it's about time for me to take my jade plants back in the house. They've been outside all summer, and they've done pretty well, but I think it's getting a little cool for them now. It's a pretty nice house plant. I've had this one for quite a while. It's been in this pot for a long time. These other ones are cuttings off of the bigger one. It's a nice plant, doesn't take much water, needs a fair amount of light, very easy to take cuttings of to propagate. You just cut your stem, let it sit out and dry for a few days or even longer. You can wait until the leaves start to wilt a little bit before you pot it up, and sometimes by that point you'll already be seeing roots on the cutting, and you can just pot them up, a few per pot, like I did here. But before I take them back in, I think all of these need to be repotted. The big one's been in this pot for a really long time, and I'm sure it's totally root bound. And the ones in the plastic pots, I know for a fact, are totally root bound. And these plastic pots are not near heavy enough. They can get really top heavy, these plants, and be easy for them to tip over, especially in these light plastic pots. So I'm going to get them repotted into some more appropriate pots, and then they can go back in the house. Alright, so I've gathered up some appropriate pots. Big one, 3 smaller ones. Here I got a bucket of potting soil mixed with some finished compost. Should do pretty well for a base. I got some sand for drainage and to just weigh it down a little bit. And I got some rocks and some crushed brick and tile. That's pretty much for just added weight, so that'll help them be more stable. So what we're going to do is we're going to use these to mix up a batch of soil for our jades. We'll get them repotted, and we'll get them watered in. What I've also got are these old cafeteria trays, which I find are very useful for lots of gardening jobs, carrying things on, mixing things on, or you can just use them for drainage trays. So that's what I'm going to use to mix on. Let's get started. Okay, well, I'm quite happy with how those turned out. They're much less tippy. I'm a lot less worried about them getting knocked over, blown over in the wind. They can sit out here for another day or two and drain out till I find a place to put them inside. It's nice to be able to keep them outside in the summertime. But if you've got one of these, don't make the mistake of taking it straight from your house out into direct sunlight in the summertime. It won't cope with that. It likes a lot of light, but if it's in a pot, it's not going to stand up well in direct sunlight, especially if it's not used to being outside at all. And that's true of most houseplants. If you take them out from indoor light and into some blasting sunlight, they often don't cope with that. But if you ease them into it, you put them in a kind of a shady spot where they're sheltered, you do really well outside in the summertime. You just don't want to leave them out when it's getting below freezing at night, or definitely better to bring them indoors at that point. So anyway, I hope that was fun. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.